It's a wonderful day today. Everything's going to be okay. The best in music and news to help you cure your blues. 11:30 on your dial will make your day worthwhile. Listen to WDGY Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Portable console, push button dial, the best in radio, hi-fi style, pocket size shortwave transistor too. We always bring the best to you. WDGY Minneapolis. WDGY St. Paul. WDGY
113.
Go!
Time is 4 and it is time to go.
We're off and running on the Top 40 show.
The very latest hits according to you.
Top 40.
You'll hear the tops and pops across the land.
Your favorite artist and your favorite band.
Pop tunes and mom tunes, rock and roll.
Top 40. WDGY Top 40 show. The show that always keeps you in the know. The WDGY Top 40 show.
For each day we keep you in the know.
Your WDGY Top 40 show.
Your very favorite music just for you.
Top 40 show. Top 40 show.
Here's that man who never sleeps. Here's Don Kelly.
Well, hi, everybody. Good morning to you. This is Don Kelly, the morning mayor, the original smiling Irishman. Boy, we got a bone rattler started this morning. It's 10 degrees above zero, and it's going to go down to 5 below by tonight, says the weatherman. And that may be accompanied by a little snow, too. Let's start the show this morning at 6 minutes past 6 o'clock now, 6 past 6, with Marty Robbins singing The Story of My Life. That said, another big hit tune for Marty Robbins, The Story of My Life. It's 8 minutes now past 6 o'clock. The temperature this morning, 10 degrees.
Good morning, Minneapolis. This is your mayor, P. Kenneth Peterson, on the Don Kelly Show over WDGY.
Thanks, Mayor Peterson, one of our colleagues here. Yours truly, the morning mayor, Don Kelly, and the mayor of Minneapolis. You know, there are two things you want in a flashlight battery: long life and dependability. And that's exactly what you get in Rayovac flashlight batteries. First, they're sealed in steel. That means they hold power till needed. Rayovac batteries stay fresh for years. And because they're leak-proof, they come to you with a guarantee against corrosion damage to your flashlight. And this is important. You never know when you're going to need that flashlight. In an emergency, when you blow a fuse at home, out in the car when you get a flat tire. And listen to this. For toys and games operated by batteries, ask for Rayovac power supply batteries, especially designed for toy use. And what better recommendation than this? Rayovac Sportsman flashlight batteries are used exclusively by Capital Airlines on their famous Viscount flights. Just take it from me, Don Kelly. They're terrific. It's 10 minutes now past 6 WDGY time. The temperature 10 degrees this morning. Let's listen to Roger Williams at the piano. This is a pretty one called Till.
Dan Daniel, radio's only adult western, here with the cream of the pop crop for you for the next 55 minutes. Of course, now and then we'll have an occasional old song to stir your own private memory. Sweetheart, we'll have some of Dan's dandy household hints. We'll be saying all kinds of nice things about you, too, because we like you a little bit better than anybody else. And besides, you are my pretty Fraulein.
She is this pretty
Fraulein.
WDGY invites you to think it over.
Halitosis is better than having no breath at all. Oh, that is horrible, Dan. Darling, what's the surefire way to receive compliments on the cookies you bake? I'll tell you, you make sure your cookies have the best possible flavor, and they will, of course, if you use the best ingredients. Now, that makes sense, huh? In this case, it happens to be Burnett's Vanilla, pure natural Burnett's Vanilla. Don't you dare pinch pennies on ordinary vanilla when the recipe calls for vanilla flavoring. Get Burnett's. You see, unlike ordinary vanillas, Burnett's contains no artificial ingredients. It's made from the finest imported vanilla beans. When you taste those cookies or your family and guests sample them, what a difference. You'll get compliments you never got before, and everybody will be hugging your little old neck. It's actually more economical to use the very best. That happens to be, in this case, as I said, pure natural Burnett's Vanilla. 4 minutes past 9 o'clock a Tuesday morning, 31 degrees in South St. Paul, Arden Hills, Savage, and Richfield. Shortly, our little weather girl will be here with the temperatures in the WDGY listening area, just as she is on both of the Dandy Daniel shows daily, 9 to 10 a.m. and noon to 2 p.m. from WDGY.
And a good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Stanley Mack Show. Yes, it's our morning musical extravaganza with all the good music for the nice people and any of you rascals that want to tag along. Well, on our morning show today, we've got some very interesting guests that are going to be with us. For instance, we'll be hearing from Professor von Ziangel in Zablitzig. Ach, jawohl, did someone call me? It must be time for the Liechtensteiner Polka here. Please, Professor, not yet. Ach, I'm sorry. That's the professor. Then we'll be hearing from Mrs. Van Upstart. Oh, yes, indeed. I have some wonderful recipes for you this morning, ladies. That's Mrs. Van Upstart, and of course, another of our starring guests this morning will be Sir Archibald Freebies. Oh, I say yes, Stanley, old man. You know, it's smashing of you to have me in this morning. Oh, thank you, Sir Archibald. It's our pleasure to have you. And then, of course, our very good friend, Pedro.
Oh, si, senor, si, it's my pleasure to be with you this morning, and also my pleasure to introduce the first song, and that's Jimmy Rogers with Kisses Sweeter Than Wine, si.
Well, when I was a young man and never been kissed, I got to thinking it over, how much I had missed. Kisses sweeter than wine.
That's Jimmy Rogers with Kisses Sweeter Than Wine. And that brought us to about 4 minutes past 10 WDGY time and a very delightful 22 degrees. Well, speaking of kisses sweeter than wine, we'd like to talk to you gals this morning about something that's, lots sweeter than kisses than wine. As a matter of fact, it's Grandma's molasses. That's the best you can buy. And say, gals, what a wonderful way to start the day. Try some Grandma's molasses over pancakes or hot biscuits. Grandma's molasses, you know, is sweeter with a more distinctive flavor. And listen to this, it makes an ordinary breakfast something really sensational. Now, Grandma's molasses adds rich, mellow flavor to many foods, for instance, in baked beans, or in a barbecue sauce for chicken, and, of course, in a glaze for ham. It's also terrific in pumpkin pie, apple pie, and brown bread. Grandma's molasses is the best that you can buy. And say, gals, for more wonderful suggestions, get your free recipe book. The instructions are on the label of every jar of Grandma's molasses. The best molasses that you can buy. Yes, sir, friends and neighbors. Grandma's molasses is the best that you can buy, and I know, because I'm Grandpa.
It's the new Bill Armstrong Show. Top songs, Bill's birthday club, tune teaser, surprises. And now here he is, the star of our show, Bill Armstrong.
And it's a hi out there to you. This is Bill inviting you to come along for the next hour of top tuning here on WDGY, our new Bill Armstrong Show. And, we have a lot of big things on our program for you today. Of course, all of your favorite songs, new, old, and otherwise. And we'll keep you up on time, temperature, weather information. Tune teasers, birthday club, and the whole works. It's all yours, and the red carpet treatment, too, on this hour of our Bill Armstrong Show. And let's begin like this. That is our show opener by Mr. Perry Como with Ray Charles and his singers, and it's called Just Born to Be Your Baby. Right now, it's 4 minutes after 11 o'clock. Temperature in the Twin Cities is 27 degrees at this point. And if it's performance that you want from a gasoline, remember this. No other gasoline has the combination of high-performance components that you get in Phillips 66 flight fuel. Only flight fuel has diisopropyl. Now, that's a remarkable ingredient by Phillips 66 to prevent cold engine stalling. Today's flight fuel is fortified with extra high-octane elements to assure you of utmost smoothness and power in today's high-compression cars. Furthermore, Phillips 66 flight fuel is clean-burning because its clean-burning natural aviation fuel components just naturally work better in your engine. In a gasoline, it's performance that counts. So fill up with high-performance flight fuel at any station where you see the orange and black Phillips 66 shield. Test drive flight fuel and let your own car show you what a great gasoline it really is.
There's going to be a change in the weather. A change in the sea. And from now on, there's going to be a change in me. Hi, everybody. Yours truly, Bill Bennett on duty. Hiya, Mom. You got your radio on? How's it fit? Hear about the two fellows that met on the street. One fellow says to the other, Joe, how did you get the black eye? He says, I walked to an antique shop and I said, what's new? Well, there you are. And welcome to the Top 40 show featuring some of your favorite recordings recorded by some of your favorites. So, whoever you are, wherever you may be my guest on the Bill Bennett Show, will you? Oh, I'm telling you, I like to sing. I used to do it when I was a kid, you know. I used to go around from backyard to backyard and I'd sing. And people would open their windows and they were supposed to throw out money, you know. Well, I used to go around and sing in backyards, and they used to open their windows, but they threw themselves out. No money, and one day I collected 4 neighbors. Can you imagine that? Oh, I'm telling you, I've got to refresh myself. I'm a little tired today. Personal appearances last night. Where's the Coca-Cola? Oh, here it is. Oh, mother dear, how I love this Coke. I can get it open here. Refreshing. Mighty refreshing. And, Mom, when you're busy around the house, why don't you take time out and refresh yourself with a cold bottle of delicious Coca-Cola. Keep a supply on hand. The family-sized bottle is perfect for your family. And when unexpected company comes knocking on your door, you can say, come on in and have a Coca-Cola, huh? The pause that refreshes. Cold, delicious Coca-Cola. And don't forget, teenagers, every Wednesday night, Coca-Cola presents the Bill Bennett Teen Time Dance, the prom ballroom. We had close to 1,500 teenagers at the prom last Wednesday. Our sincere thanks to Mr. Gene Vincent and the fine crew for being there. Don't forget, all parents are always invited. We have an awful lot of parents coming. Parents are admitted free and chaperones. And remember this, dress right, you feel right, and you act right. And remember, too, have plenty of Coca-Cola on hand. Yes, sirree. In the way of music, here's Bill Doggett and Soft.
Big good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to the Bill Deal Show on WDGY Radio. We're going to be here for the next 3 big hours with our stacks of wax and maybe a few cracks as well. Brought to you tonight by those wonderful folks at High Spot Lemon Soda, Hi-Spot, a quality drink from a quality bottler. And, of course, we're talking about the Canada Dry people, a respected name in the realm of refreshment. Mom, put down High Spot on your shopping list tomorrow for sure. Hi-Spot, a sparkling, dry, zestful lemon soda pop. The kids love it, Dad will love it, and you're going to go for it, too. I like it in a great big way. We'll be bringing you the time, the news, the temperature, and what's going on around our town. And right now we bring you music by the Ames Brothers. Let's listen to Melody d'Amour.
Song to my lover, shoot, shoot, little bird.
20 minutes past 6, WDGY time.
23 minutes before 7, WDGY time.
WDGY time now 20 minutes past 11.
You're such a nice man, Stanley. Do you have any idea what a big help you are to us women? You really are. Oh, Stanley, you're such a nice man. Say, Stanley, give us the temperatures in the WDGY listening area.
Oh, thank you, dear. I've been trying to help women all of my life, and I'm going to do that right now. With the temperatures, in Sioux Falls, it's 15. In St. Cloud, it's 5. Fargo, 9 degrees. Grand Forks is 7. Bismarck is 18 degrees. And in Rochester, it's 6 degrees. And, of course, in the Twin Cities, it's clear but cold at 4 degrees.
WDGY for weather, WDGY for weather. Here's the latest weather news on WDGY.
Here is the forecast for the 5-state WDGY area. For North and South Dakota, partly cloudy and warmer with the high in the 20s today. Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota will have fair skies and warmer temperatures. A high in Iowa in the 30s, Wisconsin 25 to 30, Minnesota 30 to 35. Specifically for the Twin Cities, our forecast calls for fair and warmer today, the high near 34. Currently in the Twin Cities, as well as Shakopee, Savage, and Waconia, it's 29 degrees.
Radar to interceptor, intercept, blue convertible at 37 miles per hour. Roger, radar car, we have it, 10-4.
This is Milton E. Winslow, Minneapolis Police Chief, reminding you that the primary duty of your police department is to protect you and save your life. One way we do this is by radar checks to keep careless drivers within speed limits and prevent them from endangering other drivers. Now here is your announcer with some of today's radar locations.
Here are some of the general areas being patrolled by radar today. Chicago Avenue, 39th to 48th. Park Avenue between Minnehaha Parkway and Franklin Avenue. On Nicollet between 58th and 38th. Franklin Avenue between Bloomington and the West River Road. And on 28th Avenue South between Minnehaha Parkway and East 38th Street. Well, these are some of the general areas patrolled by radar today. In the public interest, WDGY and the Minneapolis Police bring you radar locations 6 times daily during peak traffic hours.
A mobile unit report from the new WDGY.
Good morning, everyone. Bill Armstrong in mobile unit number 2. At the moment, our mobile unit is parked just outside the Minneapolis Loop. We've been checking driving conditions on the streets today. Because of the light snow which has fallen overnight, driving is extremely slow and treacherous. Therefore, we suggest if you're coming downtown this morning, you start a few minutes early and drive with extreme care. And now, back to the Don Kelly Show.
Good morning. Joseph Delamalva with the 755 front page, brought to you by Twin City Federal, the $250 million savings and loan association, chartered and supervised by the federal government. Minneapolis, St. Paul. The 755 news time temperature is 10 degrees above zero. Snow may fall by this afternoon. Weather details will follow the news. St. Paul. Minnesota State Representative Alfred Otto is facing charges of violating a 1951 state law that set a minimum price for sales of liquor. A law that he wrote himself. Whatever the weather, it's warm and wonderful if your savings are large enough. Rainy days, those emergencies that pop up, are easier to take if you have savings. And savings make good times and good things easier to own. Why not start your savings building for a brighter future by saving at Twin City Federal? Accounts are safe, insured for safety by the Federal Savings and Loan Association, a permanent agency of Uncle Sam's government. And the current dividend rate, 3.5%. It's the top rate in town on insured savings. For a rosier, cozier future, start saving. For safety, for a generous return, save at Twin City Federal, the $250 million association where the twin clock flashes time and temperature. Plenty of free parking right at the door. St. Paul. This year's Minnesota highway toll climbed 3 more notches yesterday to within 4 of the grim record set in 1936. The 1957 total is now 645. Last year it was 609 for the whole year. In 1936, the worst traffic year in Minnesota's history, the toll was 649. This is not a record to be proud of. Hollywood. Here's Mike Connolly.
Bob Crosby's daughter, Kathy, is expected to marry a Hollywood headwaiter named Dino Castelli, despite the objections of her parents.
Our award-winning public opinion feature, Sound Off. A.T. of Minneapolis writes, how are we expected to aid our local dairy farmers when our state institutions set the opposite example by serving oleo? Now around the world and the nation by Dateline. Cape Canaveral. The Atlas Intercontinental Ballistic Missile underwent its first successful test flight today at Cape Canaveral. Paris. The NATO countries have reacted quickly and joyfully to news of the successful Atlas launching. The 755 front page has been brought to you by Twin City Federal. And if you're interested in a home loan, remember, Twin City Federal conventional mortgages have the valuable open-end feature. Stop in and ask about it where the twin clock flashes time and temperature. Joseph Delamalva reporting.
From the new WDGY News Center, we interrupt this program to bring you an important news bulletin through the courtesy of Twin City Federal Savings and Loans.
Little Rock, Arkansas, the head of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, says that one of 9 Negroes who integrated Central High School under troop protection has been suspended for spilling a bowl of chili on 2 white boys. Stay tuned to WDGY for further details.
WDGY News.
This is Ralph Martin with the quarter-hour headlines. Paris. The NATO Summit Conference has agreed to continue pressing Russia for a controlled nuclear disarmament agreement and the reunification of a free Germany. New York. Hungary has denied the 3 heroes of the 1956 Hungarian freedom uprising are on trial in Budapest. Illinois. Private William Gerard is on his way home to Illinois, but his hometown of Ottawa is undecided on what kind of welcome he'll get.
The Platter Poll presents half-hour headlines.
This is Ralph Martin with your half-hour headlines. St. Paul. Governor Orville Freeman and L.P. Zimmerman, State Highways Commissioner, today announced a record highway building program of almost $96 million for the year beginning next July 1st. Miami. Cape Canaveral scientists have conducted the first successful launching of the Atlas Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. Paris. Diplomatic observers say the Atlas launching will back up American attempts to establish a new rocket defense accord within NATO. Washington. The Air Force hopes to equip some of its units with intermediate-range ballistic missiles by next December and long-range missiles of the Atlas type a year after that.
Good evening. This is Nightbeat. George Rice speaking. I'll have the program for you in half a minute.
Nightbeat, your program. George Rice and his guests want your questions, your comments. Using the exclusive WDGY multiphone system, they will air your views. When you call Nightbeat, Federal 90691, remember to turn your radio down. Remember, you will actually be on the air. And now, Nightbeat.
George Rice interviewing Jane Mansfield.
Jane, I understand that you're planning on building a rather lavish home in Hollywood.
Yes, that's right.
And with a couple of heart-shaped swimming pools.
That's right. Mickey's going to build a home. Aren't you, Mickey?
That's right. Well, tell us about these heart-shaped swimming pools. I understand that you're planning, or at least in some of the columns that we've read, that you were planning a couple of bits of statuary on the grounds.
I was thinking it would be a beautiful thing.
A statue of you, sort of a la Linda Christian?
No, a la Jane Mansfield.
A listener comments on the subject of Planned Parenthood.
Good evening, Nightbeat.
I think that Planned Parenthood plan is a very good plan. I haven't really used it myself yet, but I've just had my second child, and we can't really afford another one. And I think that the plan itself would be wonderful, and as some of your listeners have called and argued about how God gives you the right to have children, I think that he gives you the right, but he wouldn't want you to misuse it and have children and children and children and not be able to care for them and take good care of them like he would want you to.
And would one of our guests like to make a comment on that statement?
I think we probably all would, because it's music to our ears to hear someone speak as you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling.
While you're listening to WDGY, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
WDGY 1130.
WDGY 1130. WDGY 1130. WDGY Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Milk from the country, fresh from the country, polka dot. Both in the carton and in the bottle, polka dot. Milk that is wholesome, why don't you get some polka dot?
Ladies, would you believe me if I told you could daydream a better figure for yourself? Just imagine trimmer proportions almost like magic with the help of Slenderella. The only action you take is making that first telephone call. During your Slenderella session, you just relax. Daydream if you like. That Slenderella table is really something. It's scientifically designed and bears the Good Housekeeping seal. Slenderella goes right to work on your personal figure problem. No time-consuming, exhausting exercise, no rigorous diet. Slenderella is so inexpensive. Just $2 a week on the weekly budget plan. Call now. Call Slenderella, Walnut 7, 8795.
People all love it so. All the musical treats that can't be beat. It's WDGY Radio, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hey, buddy, got an inside tip.
Yeah?
It's the $1 million sale, new appliance department, Cardozo, St. Paul.
Is that right?
See the great Emerson hi-fi, not one, not two, but 3 speakers, only $139.50.
Only $139.50 for an Emerson set?
Matches the sound of sets costing much, much more. $1 million sale, Cardozo's of St. Paul. And see the Gibson refrigerator, a regular $199.95 value. Now this 10.5 cubic foot Gibson, just $159 with your old refrigerator. You save $40.
$1 million sale, Cardozo's of St. Paul?
You've never seen such bargains. Free roses for the ladies, too. Free parking right across the street.
Easy terms?
Yeah.
No down payment?
Yeah.
Free delivery?
Free roses for the ladies, too. Free parking right across the street.
Yeah?
Bring the family. Open every night till 9. Cardozo's $1 million sale.
Hey, buddy, is this a secret?
No.
Then what are we whispering for?
Well, I don't know about you, but I got the Asian flu.
Good evening, Nightbeat.
Say, I want to ask a question. What about clean clothes?
Oh, well, what about clean clothes?
Where do I send clothes to be cleaned? Really cleaned, I mean.
That's easy, ma'am. Falconer's Cleaners out on 11th Street and 5th Avenue South.
Are you sure Falconer's does the best cleaning job?
Yes, ma'am. The best cleaning for suits, dresses, sweaters, ties, everything. Even drapes and linens. You see, Falconer's highly trained men really know how to get clothes clean.
Yes, and I suppose it costs a fortune like everything else.
No, ma'am. Falconer's cleaning prices are the lowest in town. Yet your clothes come back from Falconer's fresh and bright. Almost like brand new again.
Sounds wonderful. How do I get in touch with Falconer's?
That's easy. Right now, if you like, you can call Falconer's Cleaners at Federal 2-4474. I'll repeat that. Federal 2-4474. The number's in the book. If you'd rather use cash and carry, just drop the cleaning off at Falconer's, 11th Street and 5th Avenue South. That way, you save an extra 15 cents on every dollar's worth of cleaning.
Guess I'll have to have my clothes cleaned at Falconer's from now on.
Well, I know you'll be happy with Falconer's Cleaning, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, ma'am. Good evening, Nightbeat.
Stand still, bossy. No call to get all churned up just 'cause a friend drops by to talk a spell. Say, you been past Pepperidge Farm lately? Oh, that woman at Pepperidge Farm, she must be plum-addled. Maggie, I told her, you won't make a nickel out of that white bread you're baking. You know what she puts into that Pepperidge Farm bread? Top-grade milk, real butter, pure honey for sweetening. Now, how's she going to make a profit that way? Maggie, I says, folks don't appreciate good old-fashioned bread like you're baking at Pepperidge Farm anymore. Folks like that soft, store-bought pap now. Tyler, she answers, I don't care what the others do. Pepperidge Farm white bread is going to be firm, textured, old-fashioned, hearty bread. Well, I must admit, folks do know good bread when they bite into it after all. 'Cause I hear Pepperidge Farm white bread is selling mighty good. Yeah, mighty good.
Now you trip to the store to get yourself more Budweiser. Budweiser. Then back to the house to your cute little spouse who's looking and waiting.
We're gonna put on our dancing shoes. We're gonna dance away the blues. Where there's light, there's bright. And a penthouse or a bungalow where the bright sun shines or candles glow. Budweiser beer is for folks who know where there's light, there's bright.
Hospitality is the word for the king of beers. That good taste for good times. Keep plenty of cold, golden Budweiser on hand for those who like their refreshment distinctive by Bud.
Don't ever be outcrossed, they'll all begin to shout Budweiser. There's life, there's Bud.
Hi, Carl. Got a flat tire?
Nope. Just jacking up the front end of my new 57 car. As soon as I get her high enough, I'm going to take out the old-fashioned coil springs.
Hi, Carl. Got a flat tire?
Nope. Just jacking up the front end of my new 57 car. As soon as I get her high enough, I'm going to take out the old-fashioned coil springs.
Take out the coil springs?
Yeah, she bounces and sways so much I got to carry seasick pills in the glove box. I'm going to make her ride smooth like the swept wing does. There goes one spring.
Carl, you should have bought a swept wing Dodge in the first place. Dodge has torsion bars, the greatest riding advance in 20 years.
The only bars I got in my 57 car are in the back window. Now, why did they put them there? There goes the other spring.
And you haven't got push buttons.
I know.
Or total contact brakes.
I know.
Or swept wing styling that'll stay new for years to come.
I didn't get anything new on this car. All I got was a bargain deal.
And you could have got a better deal on a Dodge. You've been outvoted, boy.
I paid for a new car, but I didn't get one.
Carl, don't pull the jack out.
Just let her lay there. Come on, let's see a Dodge dealer.
You'll wonder where the yellow went. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
You can depend on it. New formula Pepsodent is the toothpaste that whitens your teeth, brightens your breath, and puts the plus in your smile. And of course, Pepsodent fights tooth decay. Does it in a very special way.
You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
Yes, you'll make the most of your teeth when you use new formula Pepsodent. For whether you brush 5 times a day or only once, Pepsodent gets your teeth so clean they look their whitest.
The taste is new, so fresh and clean. That new taste really lasts, it's keen. And while it makes your smile a rave, it also makes your breath behave. So start going steady right away with Pepsodent. Get some today. You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. Pepsodent, Pepsodent.
And Pepsodent toothbrushes too.
Yeah, Winston tastes good. Like a cigarette should. Let's cut in here a sec to suggest that there'll never be a better time for you to switch to Winston. Most filter smokers have, you know. Yeah, for bright, clear flavor and a pure white filter. Try Winston. Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Hey, Columbus, we can't turn back without an order from you. I'm not talking while the flavor lasts. Hey, Columbus, we can't turn back without an order from you. I'm not talking while the flavor lasts. What are you chewing? Beech nut gum? We could be in for a long voyage.
Frank Sinatra with All the Way. 27 past the hour now. While the song was playing, we were just working a little crossword puzzle here. Right now I'm looking for, let's see, an 8-letter word that begins with B and ends with T. Means good flavor.
Captain Bligh, the crew want their supper.
Mr. Christian, I'm not talking while the flavor lasts.
What are you chewing?
Beechnut gum.
The crew could get awful mad by then.
Starts with B and ends with T, 8 letters. Means good taste. Here's Roger Williams.
It's a wonderful day today. Everything's going to be okay. The best in music and news to help you cure your blues. 11:30 on your dial will make your day worthwhile. Listen to WDGY Minneapolis, St. Paul.